Okay, today folks, I'm out here at our new range in Watertown, South Dakota. Now it is the middle of January. It is, super cold and it is very windy. So normally we would never be out here shooting, but the reason we're here, I got a brand new product. It's a block we made that fits onto the Picatinny rail. And what this does is typically your tactical firearms are very difficult to shoot from a rest. Whereas your Picatinny rail will often grab the bottom of the sandbag and it'll grab the sides of the sandbag. So with this block, it basically just turns this thing into almost like a bench rifle. It's going to sit in there and allow us to slide back and forth so that way I can get the maximum accuracy out of the firearm and see what it'll do. So what we're going to do, we're going to take this, we're going to get the rifle rest set up in here, we're going to get this set in our targets down there, and we're going to shoot this thing at 100 yards, and we're going to see what it's going to do, because it's going to be the first time we've ever used it. And then we're going to load everything up, and we're heading back to the shop where it's going to be nice and warm, and I'll go through the whole demonstration, how it's made and what we do to it. So anyway, folks, hang on for a couple of seconds. We'll get our breast set up, and we'll send some lead down range and try this thing out. Okay, now we're ready to give this thing a test drive, but I tell you what, just to show you this table and how cold and icy it is here, by taking this shell case, we are actually shooting off a skating rink here. But anyway, we're going to give this thing a trial run. I got my nephew here, he's going to be shooting because he's kind of an expert with these tactical firearms. So we're going to shoot a group down there and see how this thing turns out, so we'll let her go. Went down there and got this target, and I'll tell you, for the conditions that we're in, it's like I said, I'm taking this box of ammunition. We are shooting, folks, off a skating rink. Even though my rest comes in there at 30-some pounds, this is the group that Devin shot down there, and obviously, like I said, he's really an expert shot. But there again, with that big block in there, that's what's allowing us to do this. So now what we're going to do, we are loading this stuff up and we are heading back to a warm shop, and we're going to continue the video there. So make sure you keep watching. All this technology we got nowadays, like in 2 minutes or in 2 seconds, we'll be back at the shop. So I'll see you then. Okay, we're back here at the shop, folks. And let me tell you, it's a whole lot nicer here than what it is out there at that range. That was super, super cold out there. But anyway, I don't know if you noticed that when Devin took his last shot, that rifle rest was actually sliding. It would slide. You could take one finger and push that rest around. And the rest and the firearm weighed like 40 pounds. So to me, it's unbelievable the job that Devin did out there with his shooting. But what I have here, we designed this block, this bag rider block. And as I mentioned, your typical tactical firearm does not track very good in sandbags, simply because it's either grabbing the rail on the bottom or grabbing the rail on the sides. And even some of these have these shields on here and stuff, sometimes they're not even the best for as far as grabbing the bag. So what I did, we took an aluminum block, and obviously we machined out this area so it can simply slide on the Picatinny rail. And I can position this anywhere I wish. This one on this firearm here happens to be way back here because it worked out better for the rest to be positioned here, better for the rifle to be positioned in that rest. And I can attach it to that rail simply by these two socket head cap screws. And I use that by the wrench I have captured here in the base of the block. And if one notices, the groove here on the bottom is cut out. What I found that with my firearms, if my middle of my stock is touching the bag, it allows the rifle, it seems, to cant a lot, or it's just not near as steady. So by making this groove in here and having these rails are 5/8 inches wide, and have it right on there, it just works a whole lot better. The next part of it is the sides. This side here is perfectly straight. It's about probably 1/4 inch, 3/8, and then I have a 15-degree shoulder on each side. So when I put this in the sandbag and stuff, I mean, the only thing that's touching is on the block. It's never touching the firearm. But now this also can be used not only for the tactical guns, but if you take like a hunting rifle. Now they have Picatinny rails that will fit on the front of the stock. So you could literally attach this to and take your hunting rifle, and obviously the same thing, and turn it right into a bench gun. But anyway, I was going to show you, it does add 1 inch of height to the front. So by doing so, when I put this into my 2000 LP rest, I have both these back feet and the front feet, and that allows me to give me all the adjustment that I need. I mean, I could literally shoot uphill or I could shoot downhill. Now when using this in my Model 1000 LP rest, now when I slide this in here, yes, I'd be sitting there again with the feet here. This is an accessory to buy these feet here, but that allows me again all that adjustment to either shoot up or to shoot down. But now the next thing, I want to have the camera here. If we can focus in, on this bubble level. Now right now I have the firearm in the forward position, and I want to grab this here and move it back and forth to give a demonstration like we're shooting like with free recoil. And if one watches that bubble, okay, now we're straight forward, we're all the way back, all the way forward. I mean, that bubble, folks, I mean, it does not move. Everything is, I mean, repeatability is the same every time. So for getting the maximum accuracy, you know, out of this gun, you're going to find out what it'll do with this block on it. Now, obviously, your bipods, rear sandbags, they're great. They work really well. But when you're developing alone, then they're a little bit harder sometimes to control, and you can have 1 or 2 stray shots. To where this, it's the same every time. Anyway, folks, that pretty much covers it. Hey, I do appreciate you watching. If you have any questions, you just give me a holler. Adios.